Namaste yogis, welcome to your practice. This class is called Bring Your Fire, and that's exactly what we're going to do. The fire, it's an important element, and a lot of yoga practices and philosophies have been based on the understanding and experience of fire. For one of them is the Agni, it is called, a sort of a digestive fire that burns deep inside the abdomen in the yogic tradition, and that provides all the energy we need with the breath and then the combustion of our food, which is transferred into energy. And also when we talk about the discipline of showing up to your practice and putting in the best that you can and returning again the next day and the next day for the rest of your life, hopefully, that is called tapas, which is, not the Spanish little dishes with the olives, but the tapas as in the fire of your practice. And when we dip something in the fire, we know that it is a transformation that's going to happen. Whatever you dip into the fire is not going to come out in the same way as it went in. So that is the kind of change or deep change, which is transformation, that we are looking for in our yoga practice. On a physical level, you can of course expect there's going to be a bit of core. Also, we're going to be moving with the breath in a more or less continuous fashion. And of course, as always, whenever you need to, you can take a break and come into child's pose, skip a few poses, then join again whenever you want. But I would like to encourage you to keep going as much as you can and experience this sense of fire. And sometimes when our mind is all busy and occupied and there's so many challenges around us that it feels really overwhelming, then sometimes I feel to zap it with a strong yoga practice is exactly what I need for my body and mind. And hopefully in about an hour we're going to feel completely different than how we felt now at the beginning. So come to comfortable seats. You can sit on a block. Oh, by the way, you'll need one block for this class. If you don't have one, I'll suggest another option, but it will be nice towards the end when we start to slow down at the end of the practice. So come to a comfortable seat and close your eyes. Rest your hands on the thighs or wherever they're comfortable, and turn all your attention inwards. And right here, I'd like you to feel the temperature of the breath that flows in through the nostrils, and then the warmer temperature of the air that flows out of the nostrils as you exhale. Do this for a few rounds, just notice the temperature. Cool air flows in. A little pause, and then warm air flows out. So there's obviously an inner fire or energy, or whatever you want to call it, that is warming this up in our bodies as we breathe in and out. And even though we may not understand the full process, we can notice that this is definitely happening just by noticing the temperature of the breath. And then add one more little element to this breathing practice, which is a slight constriction at the back of the throat. We also call this Ujjayi breath or victorious breath in the yoga tradition. Keep the chest nice and lifted, draw the breath in through the nostrils, but create a little constriction at the back of the throat, almost like you're sighing as you inhale and exhale. Do this for a few more rounds, and as you constrict the throat, you'll feel it's a little bit easier to control the flow of the breath and also the duration. So it gives us more access to the timing of the breath. Also has an extra heating effect in the body, especially if you can keep doing this when we start to move. Easy to forget, but whenever you remember, just come back to this Ujjayi breath. And the little sound as the breath passes through the back of the throat also reminds us that this is our home. Wherever you find yourself, you can make the sound and you feel right at ease. Even when we find ourselves in a harder posture, a chair pose, a boat pose, and we can remember to make that sound, it focuses the mind on the present moment and not on the situation or the challenge that we find ourselves in. And then blink your eyes open. Try to keep that Ujjayi breath going in the background during this whole practice. Come onto hands and knees. And just take a moment, stack your hips above the knees, your shoulders above the wrists. And then stretch your right leg back and just place the toes down. And then feel how you can straighten that whole leg. And can you straighten the leg without dropping the belly and the front ribs? You can even check with your left hand. And then lift the right leg a little bit off the mat, but don't lift it as high as you can, because then you're going to lose this spinal alignment. So it can be quite low. Don't go as high as possible, for sure. And then make a fist with your left hand and stretch that forward. And now feel your center really strong in the middle here. Breath went out the window if you're like me, but we can come back to it when we remember. For example, now. And then keep the spine the same, really strong, and start to bring the right knee somewhere next to the left, and with your left fist, just tap the right knee without moving your core. And then stretch out again. We'll do this a few times. Lengthen. Come in, just tap lightly. Reach. Tap the hand to the knee. Lengthen out. Let's do 3 more. Slowly coming in. Strong belly. Slowly lengthening out. Feel the back. Strengthen here. 2 more. Tap. And 1 more. Tap. And stretch out one last time. Place everything down. Good. Second side, stretch the left leg back behind you. You can start on the toes just to align your core. I find it helps to touch the right hand to the lower ribs here. And then lift the left leg without changing this core awareness. So again, don't lift the left leg as high as possible, because then you'll have to use spinal movements to make that possible. Keep it a little bit lower than hip height, I would say. And then right hand forward, make a fist. Keep the spine incredibly strong as you bring the hand and the knee together. Just tap lightly and reach out. Again, tap, reach. Couple of times. How is the breath? You feel a little bit of wobbling as you try to keep your balance through these movements. Really good core work exercise for the full circumference of your center. So 2 more. Tap with a strong belly and then reach out more. Tap, reach out and release. Nice. I'm going to come and do a forearm plank. Place the left elbow down. And then place your right foot in front of the left foot as you straighten the legs. Nice. And now here I'd like you to squeeze the inner thighs together as if there is a block in between them, and reach the right arm up. Nice. You don't need to lift super high, you're not sagging down either. You're just in a strong side plank on the forearm. So one of the best core exercises out there. We just do this one for half a minute on either side in the morning or after a day at work. It's going to make a huge difference. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight to the second side, right elbow down. Left foot in front of the right. Squeeze inner thighs like there's a block in between them, and stretch the left arm up. Push the right elbow down, push the right hand down. And hold. Feel the strength in the side body, the obliques around the waist. Feel the breath. It's a bit harder to breathe in a smooth and slow way here. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, come into Sphinx pose just for a moment. Yes, come back in your side plank on the left, so you can repeat the previous one, or you can start, with the right foot on top of the left. I like right hand to right hip. We'll do 5 leg lifts with the right leg up. So lift the right leg, lower it down. 2, 3, 4. Don't lean forward or back with the top hip. And 1 more. 5. Straight to the second side, right elbow down. Left foot on top of the right, or in front of it if you prefer the previous one. Left hand, I like to hold left hip. Lift and lower. Straight up and down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back to your Sphinx. Take a breath. Nice, one more side plank variation, which is amazing, not so much for the side body, but a little bit more for the outer hips. So bend your knees a little bit. Come onto left elbow. And then all we're going to do is lift the hips a little bit off the mat. And then start to open the right knee and close it. We'll do 5. Lift and lower, sometimes called clamshell. Really nice to address some weaknesses we often have in the outer hips. So we've got 2 more. Open and close. If it's too much, you can do the same, just lying your sides. I lost count, let's do 1 more. And release. Let me turn to this side so you can see a little bit better. I'm lying on my side, the right side, right elbow down, knees a little bit bent. I'm lifting the hips a bit off the mat, doesn't have to be high. And then left knee opens and closes. Just a little bit. Try not to lean that left hip back behind you. That's more of a movement in the pelvis rather than the back of the hips. Let's do 2 more after this one. 1 more. And then slowly come down. Then lie on your back here. Let me turn around. Lie on your back. Straighten one leg out and bend one knee, doesn't matter which one. And then bring your hands behind the lower back. I like to have a diamond shape. This is going to be your feedback on your core awareness. And then press your lower back into the hands. Keep that pressure for this whole little exercise. This is more the abdominal work for the front of the spine and the belly. So press your lower back down, lift the pelvic floor up, and then lift your head just a centimeter or 2 off the mat. Not high at all. Don't crunch your chin up to your chest. Just keep your neck in line with the rest of the spine. Just hover it just above the mat. 10, 9, 8, 7. Press the lower back down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Take a breath. Maybe swap legs, doesn't matter too much, but just for balance to both sides. Press your lower back in the mat, get ready. Lift the pelvic floor. Get the whole feeling of strength all around your center. Feel the pressure of your lower back onto your hands behind your lower back. Keep that. Lift your head 2 centimeters off the floor, not more. Keep your chin tucked in. Don't lift the head higher. And then breathe into the strong core. It's a bit harder, of course. The breath is affected by this hold. 10, 9. Why do we start to count so late? 8, 7, 6, 5. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower down. Wow, that counts as a warm-up. Slowly come up, come to stand at the front of your mat. Mountain pose. Core, check. We warmed up on all the sides, the front, the sides, the back. And now try to keep this strong awareness around your center and the easy flow of the breath, Ujjayi breath, in the rest of this class. Press your feet down. From the pressure of the feet, lift up through the whole body, through the top of the head. Half sun salutation. Use your Ujjayi. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, breathe as you flow down. You can bend your knees. Inhale, flat back. Let the breath move you. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, go all the way up. Exhale, hands to center. Keep going, inhale. Press your feet down. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Inhale, strong back, flat back. Exhale, use your belly, pull yourself down. Inhale, rise, go all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, move from your center, from that fire in your belly. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Better move out of the way because here you come. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Become unstoppable in your practice. Exhale, hands to heart. One more like this, then we'll change it up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, flat back, let the back lift you up. Exhale, let the belly pull you down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's keep moving, we'll add on the step backs, the lunges. Inhale. Exhale, wide circle with the hands. Enjoy each breath you take. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down, right foot back. Lift the arms, low lunge, or high lunge rather, sorry. Hands down, inhale to plank. First one, no chaturanga, just go slowly down, reach forward with the chest, bend your elbows, slow, 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 down to the mat. For locust, lift everything up. This is core work at the back, in the lower back and the glutes as well. Nice, push up to plank, or get there somehow, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step the right foot forward really softly and lift up, high lunge. Hands come down, forward fold, exhale. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Use the breath, Ujjayi, inhale. Exhale, side breath out. Inhale, flow with ease and grace. Exhale, hands down, left foot back. Arms up, high lunge. Exhale, hands down. Prepare for plank. Inhale and plank, one breath. Exhale, shift forward, bend your elbows, lower the whole exhale down. Inhale, locust pose, lift arms, legs, chest, and head. Exhale, hands down, push up, downward dog. Inhale here, the left leg high. Exhale the left foot forward, crescent, high lunge. Lower the hands, step forward, side of breath out. Inhale, stoke your inner fire, can you feel it? Exhale, hands to heart. This is what sun salutations are for. Inhale, rise. Warm up each part of the body. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, flat back, hands to shins. Exhale, right foot back for high lunge. If it's too much, lower the knee. Lower the hands, prepare for plank. Inhale and plank. You can do the same as what you did before, or chaturanga, shift forward, bend your elbows, hover. Inhale to upward facing dog, or you can still do locust or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high, stay with the breath. Exhale, step forward. The next inhale, arms float up, high lunge. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, take it all the way up. Exhale, hands return to heart. Why are we here? To stoke our inner fire. Inhale, breathe all the way down into the belly. Exhale. Inhale, chest forward, flat back. Exhale, hands down, left foot back. Inhale, lift your arms, strong legs, high lunge. Lower the hands, plank. Inhale and plank, get strong. Exhale, shift forward, bend your elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, you've got other options. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg high. Exhale, big step forward and lift your arms. High lunge. Exhale, hands down. Side of breath out. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Close your eyes. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Bend your knees. Inhale, chair. Nice. Reach your hands forward and move the hips back behind you. Press down through the heels, especially. Bend your knees a little bit more. Bend your knees a little bit more. And come into boat. Boat pose, shins parallel to the mat. Hands reach forward. If it's too hard, hold the backs of the thighs with your hands. If it's too easy, straighten the legs. As long as you keep smiling. If your smile disappears, you've made the wrong option. Nice. And then everyone straight legs now. Hover the heels, hover the shoulders. This is half boat. Press the lower back into the mat. And then knees to chest. As you lift up half full boat. Paripurna Navasana, maybe straightening the legs, heart lifts. Good, cross your legs and get out of there. You can move through chaturanga, or you can just step to down dog, or even child's pose, and take a little breath. But remember, we're stoking our fire. So do what you need to feel the heat. There's going to be no transformation without putting in that effort, without showing up with a pure intention, and without the fire of your practice. Couple of breaths here in down dog. Nice to stop in a pose after moving quite continuously for this first part of the class. Nice, walk your feet in a little bit closer, about a third of the way. Shift your weight of the shoulders forward over the wrists. Now bend your knees and do a little hop with your heels to your buttocks. We'll do a couple of little hops. 2. Hop a little bit higher. 3. Hop a little bit higher. 4. Hop a little bit higher. 5. Maybe don't come down. And maybe land at the front of the mat. Or you can walk there now if you're still somewhere back there. Bend your knees, inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart, stand up tall, mountain. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Nice, bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose, here we go again. Reach your hands forward, sit the buttocks back. Bend your knees a lot, bend your knees even more. Boat pose, Navasana. You know the options, holding thighs, straightening the hands forward, shins parallel, or legs straight, why not? And then hover the heels, hover the shoulders. And now change it by holding the back of the head and leaning your head back into the hands. It looks more relaxing, doesn't it? But it isn't. I can even feel a little bit of trembling around the center. That's always a good sign. 3, 2, 1. Lift back up. Pull your knees towards your chest. Cross your legs. Either down dog or chaturanga into your back bend. Downward facing dog. Just one hop this time. Bend your knees, look forward. Hop lightly to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Open the feet a little bit wider towards the edges of the mat. Hands to heart and squat down into your malasana, yogic squat. If your heels are a bit lifted, it's okay. Sometimes happens if we're a bit restricted in the Achilles or the calf area, or sometimes the hips as well. So just keep working with this, it's okay. You can stay in your malasana, but as we're building the fire, I'm going to offer an arm balance here, the crow pose. This is new to you, then just do any part of the pose that you want or can. So what I'm going to do is lift my hips high. I'm going to connect my armpits to my knees, my upper arms to just below the knees. And I'll place my hands in front of me, fingers spread wide. And then I'm going to squeeze the knees onto as high onto the upper arms as I can. I can round my back and look a little bit forward. And I'm just going to lean a little bit forward until I can lift one foot or both feet. Let's see how it goes. Lift the heels as high as you can. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just come out or shoot chest forward, the feet back. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Or 2, 3. Nice. From here, lift the right leg high. Bend the right knee, open the hip. And squeeze your right heel towards your left buttock. Nice. Straighten up again. Step the right foot forward. And then from here, come onto fingertips, lengthen the chest forward. Lift your belly a little bit off the thigh, off the right thigh. Hold this. Reach both hands back. Feel the pressure of your right foot down into the mat. Feel the strength through the back leg like an anchor, keeping you grounded. You can stay here, or for a moment you can try reach both hands up and overhead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to heart. Lean even more forward, push that right foot down, make the left leg lighter, and come into your warrior three. Nice. Now bring left knee to chest and hinge up. Lift the left knee high and back to warrior three. Left leg back. The right knee doesn't have to straighten if you don't want to. It's easier for your balance. Left knee up. Left leg back. 2 more. Left knee up. Left leg back. You start to feel the right hip. I definitely do. Bring your fire. Left knee up. Left leg back. And then lower the hands. Whew. Finally. And lift the left leg high. Standing splits. You can still keep a bend in that right knee here. Or you can straighten it. Whatever feels best. For me it feels best to keep a little bend. The top leg though, you can straighten and juice it up and reach it up as far as it goes. If it's just above the mat, it's fine. If it's going all the way up, can't show you that. That's also fine. Good, then plant your hands. Bend your front knee. You might have to hop a little bit back. We're going to do a couple of hops towards our handstand. Don't worry about handstand, but just have fun with this. Build a little bit of heat. Go upside down like a kid in the park. Here we go. Left leg high. And that's 1. Hop up. 2. Hop up. 3. 2 more. Oops. And 1 more. Left leg high. Maybe catch your balance. And come down to the front of the mat. Bend your knees, hang down. Come into squat. Feet wide, hips low, chest high. You know the options. Stay in your squat or crow pose only for a count of 5. Here we go. Just practice. You don't need to lift up, you need to lean forward for your crow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chest forward, legs go back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale your left leg high. Bend the left knee, open the hip, squeeze your hamstring to bring the heel close to the buttocks. And then straighten up again. Left foot forward. Right heel stays up behind you. Come onto fingertips. Lengthen the spine. Keep the belly a bit active so you're lifting it away from the thigh. And then reach your hands back. A lunge with a lot of core stability, core strength, a lot of leg strength as well. So feel the head lengthening up and away from the back foot on the diagonal. If you want, you can add the arms, same diagonal. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to heart. And shift forward to warrior 3. Chest forward, right leg back. Maybe a little bend in that left knee. And then right knee up to standing. We'll do that 4 times. Hinge back. Stretch the right leg behind you, chest forward. And then let the right knee pull up to standing. 2 more. Right leg back. Right knee lifted up. 1 more. How's your breath now? Oops, totally forgot. But let's try our best to keep it going. Right knee up last time, and then standing split. Hands down, right leg up and behind you. Left knee can be soft, Right leg, juice it up, make it active, straighten as best as you can. Don't worry how high that right leg goes, it's a waste of time. It will go higher as you practice more, but that's just happy byproduct. It's not the core of what we're doing. Nice. Hands down. Step the left foot a little bit back if you need to. Really ground the hands like you're about to, well, like you're about to go in the handstand, which you are. So here we go. The right leg is going to swing up for 5 times. Go a little bit slowly at first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You catch your handstand, hold, and then come to the front of your mat. Forget about all of it. Whatever happened, whatever didn't happen, let it go now, and soften your upper body over the legs. Long neck, relaxed spine. Let the head pull the spine a little bit longer. And then just step back to downward facing dog. Guess what? We've got one more fiery sequence. In fact, let's do child's pose. Ridiculously short child's pose, but still enjoy every second of it. How quickly can you drop down and relax? Okay, I told you it was short. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifted high. Bend the right knee, open the hip. You can stay here or come into wild thing. So you're just tapping that right foot behind the left knee, lifting your heart, stretching up to the right arm. And then bring right knee to your chest. Start to look next to your left hand. That's where we want that right foot to step all the way there. How slowly can you do that? And then place your foot with great care and skill next to that left hand. Turn the left foot down. Open, warrior 2. Stretch the arms away. Reverse your warrior. Left hand down, the right arm reaches up and away. Nice, right elbow to right thigh. Reach the left arm over. Side angle. Nice, from here, Skandasana. Bend your left knee. Straighten the right. You can place hands in front of you. Or if you get a little bit more space, you can sink down a bit lower inside the left thigh, like a squat on the left, inner thigh stretch on the right. And then from here, move a couple of times side to side. If your heel needs to lift to get this done, this is not a problem. I find on the one side I can do a little bit easier, and the other side I really need that heel to lift to give me a bit more space. It's okay. One more time to the back of the mat. Next time you go to the front, look to the front, and then go straight into standing splits. Left leg high. Good, bring left knee to your chest. Start to bend the right knee. Extend your left leg forward and really slowly sit down, maybe through one-legged squat, or sit down however you want. You can get creative here. And then guess what? We're landing in our boat pose. So we'll be practicing an arm balance but seated. It's the same crow we've done before, but now we're sitting. The previous one was hard. This one might be a bit more accessible. Don't push the chest forward for crow. We actually want the upper back to round, the shoulders to come forward into protraction, the hands to push away. Actually, this is crane because the arms are straight instead of bent. And then half boat. Extend the legs long, connect the lower back to the mat. And come back to seated crow. One more time, half boat. Seated crow. Cross your legs and jump back. Or step back. However you move, if you need a break, this is a good time. Otherwise, if you want to strengthen your arms, your shoulders, your core, and stay in downward facing dog for another breath or two. Nice, on the next inhale, let the left leg float up. Bend your left knee, open the hip. Stay here, or tap the left foot down really softly and lift everything up, wild thing. Push the right hand and the right foot down. Lift up to the left hand and the belly and the chest. And then lift the left foot. Look to the front of your mat. Can you step all the way there? You can always help with your hand. And then turn the back heel down, warrior two. Strong warrior two, we're not holding it because we want to stoke the inner fire. Hope it's starting to work. Reverse your warrior. Keep bending that front knee. And then left elbow, left thigh, right arm over, side angle. Now into that surfer's lunge. Bend the right knee. I find I need to shorten the distance a little bit. And this is definitely the side I need to lift that heel, which is okay. And then shift to the second side. Stay low. Keep your torso a little bit upright. And then shift. Stay low. Shift. One more time to the back. And as we come to the front, visualize yourself flying into that standing split and then make it a reality. Right leg flies up to the sky, maybe a little bit higher than before, and the head is tractioning the spine down. Nice. From here, right knee to chest. Bend the left knee. Extend the right leg forward, maybe a one-legged squat. Hold. Sit down for boat. Never knew boat could be a resting pose, but here we go. Maybe the full boat with the straight legs. See what is available today. Shoulders back, chest up. And then from here, bend the knees close to chest. Move your hands to the right side and hook that left elbow over the right knee. This is, you've guessed it, side crow, but sitting. Really great core work. You feel your obliques. You feel all those deep layers of core muscles. And twist to the second side. Hook your elbow. The more you push that elbow against the knee, the more your obliques are going to have to work. I'm just warning you. And then let's do one more to each side, just for good measure. Twist to the right. Twist to the left. Nice. And then cross your legs. And you can use a bit of momentum. Shift forward, press your hands down. Hop the legs back, chest forward. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. And then last little bit of fire before we cool it down. Come into side plank on the left hand. Slide the left hand a bit more forward than from your normal plank. So your hand, your wrist is in front of the shoulder. And then stretch the right arm up. Push down and lift up at the same time. And then just feel that strength of you pushing the earth away with your left hand. Nice. Now take the right hand down. Bring right knee to your chest and extend the right leg away from the camera, I was going to say, away from the side you just faced. Left hand up. This is an awkward side plank, really good for a bit of leg, core and shoulder work all at once. And then downward facing dog. Wow, that counts. Nice. Let's prepare for side plank. On the second side, I'm going to be with my back to you first, but then the second side you'll be able to see better. Right hand a little bit more forward. Turn onto the outside of your right foot. Left foot on top of the right. When you feel ready, the left arm can go up. There's another option. If this is way too hard for you right now, just step your left foot in front of the right leg somewhere. And then just hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left hand down. Left knee to right elbow. Extend the left leg forward if you can. Right arm up. If this is not happening, then just lower the foot down. It's okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose, quickly into child's pose. It was no longer safe in that fiery department. Oh, and just feel, you might have walked into your mat with a list of impossible problems. Stuff that just stresses you out and you see no way out of it. And now you have arrived here in this almost like a different dimension. You might be wondering, what was I so worried about less than an hour ago? I can't even remember. I just want to bask here in this feeling of being connected, of being fully alive, of being fired up and ready to go after what I set my intentions to with a fire, a passion that is unstoppable. So it's not about all these poses, the handstands, the chairs, the boats. All of that is just a path to practice. A little vehicle to get you to a different place. Slowly lift up and then bring your face this way. Bring your right knee in front of the left. Open the feet a bit wider to the sides and then sit down in between your heels. If you find that impossible, it used to be impossible for me as well for many years, then just slide a block under the hips so you're a little bit elevated. If you don't need the block, then that's fine. Bring the knees on top of each other and sit upright. If that still didn't fix the problem, then you might have to lift the top knee a little bit higher just to get the sit bones to ground down onto the block or onto the mat. That's okay. Right, so sit upright. Let your whole system calm down. And while it's really challenging to move through all the strengthening poses and fiery flows, they really bring about an amazing feeling of calm connection afterwards, if you can feel that. So sometimes we have to go through the fire to then reap the benefits at the other side. We'll add a little twist here if you like to. You can stay in the center. but I like to twist over the top leg, so my right knee is on top, I'm twisting to the right. And then I like to hook that left elbow over the right knee. And then just, you don't have to collapse down, but just lengthen the chest a little bit away at a 45-degree angle, let's say. Couple of breaths here, feel how you lengthen away from that left hip that's pinned down underneath the bind of this pose. And once again, breathe into your center. You don't have to do strong ujjayi breaths anymore, but just ever so slightly, really soft awareness in the back of the throat as the breath flows with ease. And then slowly release. You can shift the legs however you want, but there's a very fancy way which I'm going to show you, is if you lift the hips a bit, you stay on the feet, and then you go towards the left in my case, and I'm going to keep walking all the way around until magically you have swapped sides, so left knee is on top. If you're somewhere stuck in a knot, then just get here somehow. Left knee on top of right. You know the options. You could sit up on the block. You could lift the top knee higher, or maybe this is just fine for you. In fact, if your hips are more open, then you might be able to lift the feet a bit higher so they're more in line with the knees. For me, this is plenty of stretch, so I'm going to stay here. And if you want to add the twist, it's going to be right elbow over that top knee. The hands can just rest down. I'm lengthening the chest a little bit away on the diagonal. And the right hip, it might become a little bit lighter, but let it still be heavy and drawn down to the mat. A couple of breaths into your lower back, into the belly, into your sides. Nice. Slowly release, and then come to lie on your back. Bend your knees, almost like you're about to do bridge, but just place your right ankle on the left knee, activate this foot a little bit, and then reach your right hand through the gap in the legs, hold your left shin or the left quad, the back of your thigh, and then ever so slightly pull in, and with the right knee, press a little bit away from your right shoulder. Thread the needle pose, really nice outer hip stretch. Nice grounding through the whole back body, spine, shoulders can relax, your face can soften. And let these last few poses really be quite restful as a welcome respite or change after our fiery first part of the practice. You've moved pretty much continuously for 45 minutes or so. Now the last 15, let them be calming and soothing. As from here, just release your leg and let the foot come down. Keep this, just drop everything to the left. So your right foot will be outside the left knee still, until the right foot can come down. What I like to do here is with the left hand, I'm holding that right foot down, I'm pinning it down to the floor, and then I can roll the right shoulder open. And this is quite subtle, but you'll feel this when you do this, with the right knee. Push a little bit towards the back of your mat. It's quite a tricky area here in the right hip, the back of the right hip, to get into. I find this pose does a really great job to get into that area that often gets a bit tight and tense. If this is quite mild for you, then don't worry about it. Not every pose has to be extraordinarily tough and crazy. If it's mild, just let it be mild. A couple of slower breaths. And then let everything lift up again. Place the right foot down. Place the left ankle on the right knee. Activate the left foot a bit. The left hand goes through the gap in the legs to hold the right thigh or shin. And I'm lying all the way back, softening shoulders down, lightly pulling right knee towards me and pressing the left knee away to the front. A couple of breaths here in this thread the needle pose or figure 4 stretch. Receive all this goodness. The outer hips have worked hard in the standing poses. So now give them a little bit more space and loving attention, let's call it. And then place the right foot down, release the hands. Keep this, just roll down onto the sides. The left foot is down on the floor, outside your mat probably. And with the right hand, hold the left foot down, just pin it down. The left arm can just roll open. And then quite subtle but quite important, with the left knee, push a bit away from your chest towards the opposite side of the mat. And you might get to quite a hard to reach area that feels a little bit tense. Or for some of you, it might be super mild, and then just treat this as a restorative pose. And then gently release. And from here we can go straight into our Shavasana. A couple of minutes. This might be the most important pose of all. The thing we need to learn most as busy and stressed human beings rushing from place to place, from project to project. This is key to find a sense of stillness and ease, which hopefully carries through in the rest of our days. So now, how quickly can you rest the whole body down? There's nothing left to do. The inner fire, which we stoked and encouraged, can now relax into a little simmer in the background. It doesn't go out, of course. It stays wakeful and active until we go to our next project with passion and fire. If you've got a little bit more time for a longer relaxation, then feel free to stay here. It's time for you to move on and deepen the breath and move your hands and move your feet. And bend your knees and roll over onto your side. And slowly push up to sitting. Bring your hands in front of the chest. Touch your hands to your forehead, to your heart, and bow to yourself on the mat. Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining me for this fiery practice. Keep it up and see you here again soon. Thank you.